Thanks for hanging out and chatting.
Nice to talk with you.
So, as a arborist turned marketer, talk to me about that transition. How long ago was that transition? What and how has it been?
Well, it's actually more of a marketer turned arborist turned marketer.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I had spent 20 years in corporate before.
Oh, wow.
I did this, and a lot of what I did was online, and it wasn't necessarily marketing specifically, but I worked with our marketing teams, so I had
Sure.
a really good understanding of marketing to start with. I'm also a psychologist and statistician. Lends itself really well to marketing.
Sure, naturally.
So, in 2008, I left corporate, started a landscape company. Not the best year to be starting a new business.
Yeah, 2008 was a rough one.
Yeah, so I had to do a lot of marketing for my landscape company. Turned out to be really good at it. Company did well. I became an arborist along the way. My husband had a tree service, so it made sense. I was doing a lot of pruning work. So,
Sure.
But I found a lot of people started asking me to market their business as well. And marketing is 24/7 all year round. Landscaping in Connecticut, you can't really do much in the winter. Eventually I decided that marketing was probably the better option for year-round income.
Sure.
And I was turning down people, so I figured I might as well switch to that, and that was that. So
There you go. And then how'd you get to, because you're in Tucson, how'd you get to Tucson?
moved to Tucson because we wanted to.
There you go.
Had enough of the winters in Connecticut, shoveling
Yeah.
snow and
Yeah.
mowing lawns. My first business I started when I was 11. It was lawn mowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Same.
snow blowing. So it was
Yeah.
like, I never want to do that again.
Yeah, that's understandable. So if you could wave a magic wand, let's say you get into the first conversation with a potential new client, there's probably a lot of, teaching that you do along the way, because, these are folks that are very skilled in things that are not digital marketing,
Right.
So if you could wave a magic wand and have them maybe understand something about your marketing world before they even jumped into conversation with you, what would it be?
Probably the importance of measuring how well your marketing's working for you, which means you've got to have your business numbers down as well. So a lot of them come to us, they don't even know what their average close rate is, what their average job is, what their profit margin is even sometimes. If you don't have those numbers, you can't really do marketing and do it profitably, because you don't know if you're paying more for your marketing than what you're making on the back end.
Right.
So that's the one piece I wish more people realized, that marketing isn't just about running ads or putting pretty pictures out there for people to look at on social media.
Right.
There's a real business purpose to it, and you've got to have your numbers right to make it work.
I was talking with some of the TCI staff, and they were mentioning, I hope you don't mind talking about it, mentioning you're developing a suite of tools for some of your customer base that maybe needs something a little bit more out of the box, just like here's the beginner plan. Am I classifying that right?
Yeah, we've traditionally only worked with larger companies, so we're now working with clients under $1 million in annual revenue, and many of them don't have a lot of the tools in place to do marketing, or even sometimes with their business side of things. So yeah, we have a suite of tools that allow them to do all of that easily. It's all tailored to the tree care industry. So
very interesting. Was that just something you kind of saw an opportunity? Just many of your conversations were with those folks and it wasn't a fit. It's like, man, well, maybe was that kind of how it came about?
There are so many companies that need help with marketing and business consulting in general, and they're looking around. There really isn't a comprehensive marketing program for them at an affordable price point. And that's why eventually I decided. I've been saying no for all these years to these companies. I mean, my husband, for example, with his tree service company, that's where he started, right?
Right.
If they don't get help, how are they ever going to get where they want to go? And we need more arborists out there. So this was something we developed this year based on the data we have from our existing clients. So this wasn't just throwing the kitchen sink at them. It was what's actually driving revenue for our existing clients when it comes to marketing. Take the top revenue drivers, put those into a program. That's what we're offering.
Got it. What are the top bullet points that you're offering? I mean, because at some point there's a bespoke program for everybody, but that creates maybe the level of work that you can't necessarily provide at a certain price point.
Right. You can't.
So what was that process of? You mentioned some of your data, maybe. What went into saying here are the things that you really should work on?
The number one thing that's driving revenue in the tree care industry, at least for our clients, is Google Business Profile.
Yeah.
When it's managed well.
Yeah.
Right. So you're posting on it, you're putting photos, you're getting reviews. Those are still the number one thing. You're responding to all those reviews. If you're doing that really well, that's driving revenue.
Right.
And that's something you honestly don't need a marketing company to do that.
You just need somebody
to do it, right? So if you don't have staff or you're not sure how to do it or optimize it, set it up well, then yeah, you should hire someone. But that, and then the second thing is the website.
Yeah.
So SEO, good SEO, and a really well done website that's appealing to your local customers. That's not generic schlock put out by AI, but really focused on your services and your target customer. And we can do that.
Yeah.
And so we have a template website for this customer group, client group, but the content is customized, and the look, the feel, the logos, the images, all of it. And we use a lot of custom fields throughout. So it's not the same website as anybody else, even though it's built on the same template. And so we can do that at an affordable price point. A custom website like we do for our other clients is not in the budget.
Yep. I have read a lot about some of the ChatGPT traffic, and some of that's boo, scary man. Going to upset the Google traffic. Have you seen anything in terms of folks going to ChatGPT and saying, how do I take care of this tree service problem, or asking that kind of channel versus going to Google? Have you seen anything yet, or what's your take on all that?
Not really. We do see traffic coming from Perplexity.
Oh, interesting.
Which is interesting, because people are asking Perplexity. I think it's better than ChatGPT for asking those kinds of questions anyway. And then they do click through to the website. ChatGPT, not so much. It's more the AI overviews at the top of the search results that are upending things a little bit. Traffic.
Is that has to be a black box on how you get to be one of the sites that's sourced on there.
No, all the research that I've seen points to, if you've got helpful content, as Google keeps saying, written for people, not AI crap. Honestly, let's be real. Everybody's pumping out the same AI stuff.
Same prompt to do,
and it doesn't differentiate you in any way. If you're putting out hyper-local content that's really relevant to your ideal customers, it is showing up in the AI overviews with, especially if you're on desktop, right next to it, there'll be 2, maybe 3 highlighted little boxes to websites. And so a lot of our clients, that's where they're showing up.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's really do anything very different. It's write the right stuff for the right audience, which has always been the case.
Yeah, and then you're just showing up in a different way, which is totally fine.
And then you also do tend to show up in the organic results underneath it.
Yeah.
So
what do you think? What do you think some of the change will be in the next handful of years? We're at the Winter Management Conference. There's a lot of people sitting around, and we might be over beers more than at the pool, having conversation about what the future holds. Is there anything that you've learned here or thought through, or conversation with clients or other folks that's kind of sticking out as an interesting topic?
I think what's always interesting to me
We've got a
Look,
cat.
are the cats.
We got cats running
Come
all
here.
over the place. We got people walking around in their swimsuits. We got cats. We got the whole everything.
Yeah, what's always interesting to me is how many myths about marketing are still floating around. And people don't know what they don't know.
Right.
And that I don't see that changing
What
anytime soon.
what myths?
Oh,
Because I could
like,
fill in the blank there. I'm interested to hear what you. What
you need to
think.
put out so many pieces of a certain type of content. Well, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Or that social media, you've got to be posting every day, 5 times on social media. If you're trying to drive leads for tree service, not so much, no.
Sure.
Or videos, you've got to be doing videos. Well, if you're posting videos of your crane, guess who's following you? Other tree
crane
guys,
people, yeah.
right? You know, so, and nobody is really talking about the fundamental piece underlying it, which is the numbers.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is a big gap that is still here, and I don't see that really changing. It hasn't in all the years I've been coming.
Yeah. Hopefully we can, though. Hopefully there's a dent, right? I
Hopefully.
think there's just more people that need to see the full cycle. And, one of the reasons I wanted to chat with you is because talking to some other folks, and it's like Monica cares about the results. Monica cares about the full cycle of lead to revenue.
From lead to revenue, right.
And
The whole thing.
there's a lot of, it's easy to sell aspiration of put this campaign together and you'll make your brand will look great. It's like, well, that's something, but turns out these people need leads,
Right.
It's like actual leads and actual revenue.
They need work. They
need the work,
right?
especially when there's so I'm happy that you are carrying that flag. I think that's a differentiator that, a lot of marketers will say that. But the way that they track it, the way that they actually go about their business is...
it's all based on the number of leads
Yes.
and your ranking.
Yeah.
And those are kind of the wrong metrics.
Yeah.
Those
They're a
don't,
part of it, but
they're not the end result you're
Right.
looking for. They're
Right.
part way through.
Yeah.
I can drive 100 leads for you. They could all be total crap.
Yeah.
But-
And I've been in several different industries, and it's easy. The internet's a really weird place, and there's really weird people and or bots or whatever else out there
Yeah.
that'll fill out a form, and
Yeah.
they are some sort of human, maybe robot. It's just like, what is going
Just the
on
sheer
here?
amount of spam out there, like form
there's just
submissions.
there's all sorts of weird things that happen. So it's easy to get those clicks. It's easy to get a form fill, but the valuable ones are what actually matter.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones that are already pre-sold. They've seen you online. They are aware of your brand. They've read the content you've put out that has convinced them you're the right person. You do what they need in the area where
Right.
they're located. You're reputable.
Yep.
All of that, and it's a lot easier to close that
Yep.
than it is somebody who is completely cold traffic.
Yep. Yeah, it's at that point you've done so much of the work, and that's the way
Yeah.
people shop online now. It's just they before they want to interact, they want to have some understanding of who you are and if they can trust you and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and then that can come through as a lead that you can start to work. But wonderful. Well, I appreciate you chatting a little bit.
It's always fun to talk marketing.
Yeah, I love it. And enjoy the rest of the day here and go get out of the heat and sun and
I live in Tucson. You'd think you'd be used to the heat, but the humidity is what's killing you.